Now, I'm going to talk to you about our movement that we call bow and arrow, but there's lots of things going on in it, which is why I think it's important for us to have this little masterclass right now. When we do bow and arrow in class, we maybe do it in different positions, but one of the positions I like to do it in is in a calf stretch position. Stretching the calves is really important because we get so tight in these calf muscles. They're also a tense muscle, a stress muscle, I should say. So they're a muscle that tenses without us even realizing or knowing about it. So it tends to be a very tense part of the body. And you'd think that, you know, being a calf muscle down here, how is that going to affect us through our pelvis? And is it really going to affect us in our pregnancy? Well, it's amazing how tension in one muscle area can actually create tension somewhere else. So we want to release the calves. We want them to be long. The other issue with calves may not be happening right now, and we may look at this a little bit later on in the Powerful Pregnancy, but the other issue with calves is the issue with circulation and the problem with cramps. So that's something we will address a little bit later. But for now, we just want to keep those calf muscles pliable whilst we do another movement for the body. So first of all, you're going to step back into a calf stretch position. So you're just going to take one leg back behind you. Now, just check your feet and make sure that they are in parallel lines. So you don't want your heel turning in. So if your heel turns in like that, the chances are you've got tightness going up into your hip because your hip's rotating and the muscles are tight and causing that rotation. So if you turn your heel out, what you're going to do is not only stretch your calf more effectively, you're also going to help to release some of that tension in the hip. So this is where, you know, you start to discover the body is completely connected. Everything works together. So when that heel turns in, that's all to do with movement in your hip joint, not what's going on in your calf. It's more to do with movement in your hip joint. But because of that tightness in the hip, and the way it's positioning your calf is going to create tightness in the calf, but it's stemming from here. I hope that makes sense. Either way, what we've got to do is bring that heel out. So check your feet and make sure that your feet are fixed in tram lines. If your foot has a tendency to turn in, keep trying to turn it out. And then we want to warm the calves up. So I'm going to encourage you to either put your hands on your hips or you might want to put them underneath your bump, and then you're just going to lift and lower. And you're going to warm that calf muscle up. Yep, so just keep lifting it and lowering it. Lifting and lowering it. Keep your chin in. Think about that postural line. Work the shoulders down. Lift up through your pelvic floor. So you can lift it up as you come up onto your toe. Lift it up as you come up. Keeping that apple under your chin. Or think of the egg and the spoon. Looking straight ahead. And then I'm going to hold. Now I've made that calf a bit more pliable. I'm going to hold it down. Hopefully now that I've worked it in the right plane of movement, hopefully now it's going to hold down in the right place. You may find that it keeps on turning in. Keep trying to turn it back out. Because now we're going to challenge your balance. With your heel turned in, because you're trying to bring your heel out, if you have a tendency to come in, what you'll find when you turn that heel out is that you'll be wobbly. Yeah, because you've been relying on those hip muscles to stabilize you and keep you upright. Well, we're not allowing you to do that now. We're trying to release those so that they don't do the job of the core muscles. You've got to try and get your core muscles to activate and work harder so that you are stronger in your core. So you turn that heel out, and then we're going to do a bow and arrow. You're going to bring the hands up. And you're going to engage your core, but also your glutes. Because your glutes, your big butt muscles, are there to stabilize you. And they're the ones that should be stabilizing, not the deeper ones inside your hip. So you want those big butt muscles to stabilize you. So squeeze your buttock on the back leg. And as soon as I do that, just watch my pelvis. As soon as I squeeze my bottom, do you see what happens? It brings me into a different line, ever so slightly more upright. So that squeezing of your glute will help you with that postural line. Now bring the hands up, work the shoulders down. So you're sliding your shoulder blades down the back of your rib cage. And you take a breath, you inhale. You exhale, and you slide your arm back like a bow and arrow behind you. Inhale, bring the arm back. And then slide it back behind you. Inhale, bring the arm in. Exhale, slide it back behind you. Inhale, bring the arm in. Exhale, now lift up through your pelvic floor. Lift into your belly as you rotate. Yeah, and then obviously do the same thing on the other side. And what you'll probably find is that when you go from one side to the other, you'll have less tightness or more tightness on one side than the other. And this is how you discover where your body can vary. Now, we've got mirrors that we use in the studio. At home, I'd advise you to use either a mirror, or you can use the camera on your phone so that when you're following the videos, you can check your own positioning. Make sure that those heels aren't turning in, your feet are fixed in tram lines. And if I turn towards the camera now, I'll show you what I mean. So if I'm turning my heel in here, you can see I'm not in the right line. So I need to bring that heel out. And then if I work in that line, yep, I'm going to help to release that tension into my hip, but also help me to stabilize through my core muscles rather than working the hip rotators, which are exacerbated and tight already, and I don't want to overwork them. They are making my core lazy. So if I open and turn that heel out, use the core muscles more effectively, then I'm going to get stronger, and so will you. Well done for completing this workout. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please do like and subscribe to our channel so you can get more of the workouts in this series. Please do also comment below. We really like to hear from you and find out how you're feeling right now in your pregnancy, and what else would you like from us in order to give you the workouts that you really need. So do stay in touch, and hope to see you again soon.